is 62%. So there is a huge potential left to be tapped. Key structural reforms that have been implemented, such as formalization of Indian economy, financialization of savings, financial inclusion endeavors, rising share of EPFO money allocated to equity, will all play out in strengthening the flows to our industry. In sum, there's a great sense of optimism, and the pie is large enough for all asset management companies. But let me add a caveat. They say that those who do not remember the lessons of history are condemned to repeat them. There is enough empirical evidence to show that bad financial decisions are often made in good times. So despite all the current euphoria, it is critical that AMFI stands ahead of the curve to ensure discipline amongst all its members. In this present spurt of growth, if even a few players are found to be deviant, it may well retard the growth of our industry. So I do believe we can achieve the target of doubling our AUM, provided we grow prudently and provided the players are not irrational. The second trend I envisage is that AMCs will need to re-strategize their cost structures. The challenge is, how is it possible to get more with less, which is getting more business with lower costs? With a growing share of retail investors, the regulator is right in prodding asset management companies to rationalize their cost structures. We all know that AUM growth will happen through wider reach and distribution. SEBI is already focusing on B30 cities to ensure increased flows from smaller towns and smaller cities. With the rapid rise of urbanization that is underway, one should not be surprised if mutual funds would be looking at B50 cities very soon. What is critical going forward is how commission structures evolve. While total expense ratios are capped, there are some concerns on how distributors are being incentivized. Of course, one cannot at all undermine the stellar role played by the distributors in the growth of our industry. I sometimes wonder how an industry with 4,000 to 5,000 sales personnel have been able to reach over 80 million customers, account holders. Yet, some distributors, unfortunately, are being lured through considerably higher premiums, higher commissions, and higher incentives. It is easy to succumb to greed. When a distributor begins to play the game of mutual fund hopping and shopping, the outcome is a great deal of mis-selling, which eventually hurts the retail customer. The problem is that there is intense competition in the industry. And if a few AMCs deviate from the norms, there is pressure for others to follow suit in order to retain their business. In the asset management business, distributors and AMCs have to be collaborative, and the relationship has to be mutually beneficial. Clearly, one doesn't want to encourage a system where distributors believe they can demand freebies or they can demand exotic free holidays. And if their demands are not fulfilled, they take the business elsewhere. I am personally against the practice of rewarding distributors with foreign or domestic holidays in the garb of training programs, which is a very common practice. In many countries, this would be simply deemed illegal to induce sales through such incentives. Is the customer really aware? Is your customer really aware of this incentive while buying your product? Will he still buy your product if he knows that you are doing this? A transparently disclosed commission should be the only way forward. I do hope the regulators look to stop this practice, which I believe has become common practice.
That's Deepak Parekh.